school year started off normally, but things took a turn when Mr. Caldwell joined the faculty. He was a tall man with sharp features, always wearing dark clothing. There was an unsettling aura about him that made students uneasy, but it was his piercing gaze that held everyone captive. I was just a sophomore, focused on my studies and trying to fit in. But every time I passed Mr. Caldwell in the hall, I felt a chill run down my spine. He seemed to watch me a little too closely, a hint of something in his eyes that made me uncomfortable. At first, I brushed it off as paranoia. After all, he had a reputation for being a strict teacher. But then, things escalated. He began to assign me to special projects, pulling me aside after class to discuss my work. I couldn't shake the feeling that his interest in me was more than just academic. One afternoon, while I was cleaning up after class, he stayed behind, his eyes fixed on me. "You have a unique talent," he said, his voice low and smooth. "I see a lot of potential in you." I nodded, trying to keep my expression neutral, but the way he lingered made my skin crawl. As the weeks went by, his attention became more intense. He started to leave notes on my desk, comments about my performance, but also strange, personal observations. "You remind me of someone from my past," one note read. "Someone special." My heart raced with unease. I confided in my friends, but they dismissed my fears. "You're overreacting," they said. "He's just a teacher." But I couldn't shake the feeling that he was watching me, even outside of class. I began to notice him standing near the entrance to the school, lingering as I walked home, his shadow stretching behind him. One evening, while studying late in the library, I heard footsteps echoing in the empty aisles. I looked up and saw Mr. Caldwell standing at the end of the row, staring at me. "I didn't expect to find you here," he said, his smile too wide, his eyes too bright. I grabbed my bag and hurried out, my heart pounding. The next day, I received another note, but this one felt different. "Meet me after school," it said. "I have something important to tell you." My stomach twisted in knots. I knew I should tell someone, but I felt trapped, like I was in a web he'd spun. That afternoon, I found myself in a corner of the school, the air thick with tension. I waited, heart racing, knowing deep down that I shouldn't have come. When he finally appeared, his smile sent chills down my spine. "I've been waiting for this moment," he said, stepping closer. "I can't do this," I stammered, backing away. "You're my teacher." He took a step forward, his demeanor shifting. "I've never felt this way before. You're different. I want to help you." The way he said it made my skin crawl, his intensity suffocating. "You don't understand what we could have." I turned to run, but he grabbed my wrist, his grip firm yet unsettling. "Don't you see? This is meant to be." His eyes bore into mine, filled with an obsession I couldn't comprehend. With adrenaline pumping, I pulled away and sprinted down the hall, my breath coming in panicked gasps. I didn't stop until I was safely outside, the sunlight washing over me, the sense of safety overwhelming. I reported him the next day, shaking as I recounted everything. It wasn't easy, but I couldn't keep living in fear. The school took immediate action, and within days, Mr. Caldwell was gone. But even now, months later, I sometimes feel a chill when I walk past his empty classroom. I still wonder if he's out there, lurking in the shadows, waiting for the right moment to return. The thought haunts me, a reminder that not all monsters are mere figments of our imagination. Some walk among us, cloaked in the guise of normalcy, waiting for their chance to strike.